Hey guys, it's your boy Soji or Sin from Scape Talks. How are you guys doing today? I'm having a fantastic day indeed. Um, we're gonna be doing, I guess, an update on what's been happening in my life because I haven't really done anything in a while, and it's a little bit complicated. And there's been a lot of things going on with my life, and y'all have probably been wondering why I haven't made a video probably in about 2 months. Well, although I hadn't made a video in 2 months, that doesn't mean I didn't have internet in 2 whole months. In fact, I only had no internet for at least 1 month, 1 month and a half. And I'll go over that in a bit here. I just want to explain something briefly of what the background video is going to be about. Spottyfur ended up coming logged on. She was in a clan with me when we were both in Petals of Amaranthius, which was a pretty cool clan back in the day. And we were discussing our part of our jobs, careers, you could say. And hers, she works at Macy's, and I work at Walmart when it comes to our retail careers. Because other than that, she's also a nurse, like I'm an engineer, which is pretty cool. Meeting other people that have two jobs or two careers or whatever, in their time doing other types of activities. So y'all enjoy that. It's pretty interesting, and here we go. So, as you know, the last house I was in was a little bit crazy because the people I lived with, they were either lazy or just didn't want to work. And I'm not saying they were completely lazy or didn't want to work. It's just a lot of stuff that was on their plate that they did or didn't do were stuff that they were supposed to do. That was stuff that they impacted on the house, not what I impacted on the house. And they're not personally at fault for all what's going on. I did some things I didn't do either, but for the majority of the issues had to been in theirs. It was their house. I didn't own it. They owned it. It was, in the trailer park. And I was only there for some times, and we both pushed each other's buttons. So, don't be taking no one side here. I'm just giving you a little bit of a rundown. As for those who are just now joining our show, you could say, or whatever. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, every time I would talk about moving out, we would get into fights about stuff and be like, well, you're supposed to be living here. What are you talking about? You got to be paying bills, because what are we going to do without you? I'm like, that's not my problem. So every time I try to leave or try to explain how they needed to pay their portion of the bills that I could not cover, because I was saving up for hormone replacement therapy, because, people who know me know I'm transgender as well as having Asperger's syndrome. And there's a lot of issues going on in my life as well as other people's life, because, two transgender people are not going to be the same, as many people would know. And, yeah, so she would call the cops, and they would always target me. Like, personally, they would always target me because I didn't live there. So they're on the side of the homeowner in Tennessee. That's usually how it goes down. So I was usually the one that was always being targeted by the cops. Be like, well, you need to go to jail, man. You're being aggressive. These guys don't know what's like to be, either one, living with Asperger's, and two, living as a transgender person who is, one, either starting to start the transition or trying to start the transition, and they just don't know how to talk to those people. We're all different. So, what happened in my life was pretty crappy. I'm not going to deny it. So, I one day I just woke up and I said, I had enough of it. I'm getting the hell out. So I started looking for apartments, could not get any apartments. And then I guess I talked to my friend, because his parents moved out and he still lived in the trailer that he lived in it, which was a good, it's good. It's a good move for now until we find somewhere that's more important. More permanent, or, what we can do for now until we find something that's, different for later down the road. So, yeah, I chose to move in. I asked the landlord if I could move in with my friend, and he said that was cool. So I just had to pay down. I only had to pay down a $250 security deposit, which I did. It was close to the end of February that I think finally moved out. I know the last video I made, I could have sworn it was 2 months ago, which was near February 18th, but I'm not too sure ago. I mean, it says something like 2 months ago added. I don't know. But yeah, so I was working on moving out. Some nights I sleep over there. Some nights I slept over at the new place. They had a lot of roaches because they didn't want to go anything. Well, they didn't want to take anything to the dump. They didn't want to clean up their stuff. So I was always there cleaning up their dishes. So yeah, they had a lot of roaches, and I kept getting sick, and it was not good. So that was the other. So I was like, well, there's no point in me staying over here. So I'll just stay over at the new place, even though all I had was a futon and a lot of boxes, because I was still in the process of working, because I worked just about every day of the week. I told her, you technically I still do live here, but then the cops corrected them since I decided to start sleeping over here. That means they considered fully legally moved out. So I had no rights to say, hey, well, I can go over there when they're asleep and start moving stuff over here. And that really almost got me to jail a lot, because, that's called breaking an entry. And especially in Tennessee, as well as probably other states. So, things are crazy. I don't know what to say. So, I just said screw it. And, it was the night right before I was finally moved out. I told her, you can't move anything out till the 6th of March. And she was talking about moving her. She told me I had to move everything out of the house. And that's when I got the discussion about, the 10 days. She still has to let me have 10 days to move everything out before she can legally move somebody in the house, even if she put down a down payment. That's why you don't put a down payment till someone else moves out, because legally they have, 10 days or how many days they have to move out all their stuff, especially in Tennessee. That's the law right there, 10 days. Because you waive your rights out, and that's usually how it is in trailer parks. I don't like living in trailer parks, but it's a house right now. The apartments aren't really taking anybody. And when they do, it's usually about 3 to 4 months down the road before you even get a notice. So, that's too long to wait. I prefer 2 months, but it's crazy. I'm not going to go into details, because why should I? So, finally moved out, got everything moved out into my new place, sorted out, still got some boxes laying around, got my new setup. Did not have internet, but he did have internet. And I was using his internet, but I didn't want to upload any videos because, one, he was using the same plan I was using, which was AT&T's Uverse internet for 12 megabit download speed and then 1 megabit upload speed. So that's what I was using when I was over at the house before I upgraded, which took much longer. And then when I upgraded that, it took me a little bit less time to upload videos. And yeah, I didn't want to be taking up all of his, bandwidth. He wouldn't be able to do anything for about 8 hours while I was uploading a video to YouTube for y'all to watch. So I said, well, I won't do it. And I guess in the meantime, I'll just leech off your internet, keep using it for my outlet resources so I can do some of the work from the factory when they send me emails, and for playtime, you guess you could say, when I'm not working. And, well, eventually his internet got cut off because I thought it was in his name. It wasn't in his name. And I've been trying ever since I moved over there to get my internet moved over to here. But AT&T wouldn't have it because there was 2 AT&Ts here. And they kept telling me the only way they can move my AT&T here is if, one, he cancels his service, or 2, I get downgraded from the same service that I have down to virtually dial-up, basically. And I was like, hell no, I ain't gonna have that shit. I've already paid for like a crap ton of, money for whatever, and I'm not gonna go down for the lesser crap service than I already had now. It's already taken me a long time, because y'all know I have a workstation desktop, because I do graphics and design and whatnot type stuff that require workstation graphics card, especially when I make YouTube videos. A lot of YouTubers have a workstation graphics card or a really good gaming graphics card that lets them get the graphics, like the graphics in my videos here from RuneScape. And the NXT is coming out soon, so I'm looking forward to that. So we'll be seeing what kind of videos I can make from the NXT, because the graphics will be so much better, look so much cooler. So yeah, I had to go through 10 sales reps just to get them to let me out of my contract. I didn't want to go to Comcast Xfinity, which is where I was going next. But what I mean by I didn't want to go with them yet is because I didn't want to end up being able to have to pay for 2 internet services. One I can't use, and one that I love to use because it's really good. I mean, granted it has a data cap, but with the upload and download speed that it gives is far more superior than AT&T could ever give on the I guess the technology that they're using right now, which is nowhere near cable, because cable's faster than DSL. Let's not lie. I mean, DSL still has its uses. It's still really good, but when it comes to the powers of cable, I don't know what to tell you guys. Cable can carry far more data, unless you're talking about an actual fiber-rich network that's using fiber. Yeah, not Ethernet. Or cable, you could say. Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. Let me get me a drink here real quickly. But yeah, so I finally managed to get them to cancel my contract, let me out of my contract, and I finally moved. So then I decided to get a Xfinity Comcast, and I had to sign it on with my phone because my phone broke. It went through the wash machine, and I forgot to check that last pocket. I checked every pocket except one pocket in my work pants, and boom, busted up. Glass broken. I don't want to wait 2 whole months from China to get a new LCD screen to come over here for me to replace, and I'd rather just wait, a week from buying a phone off Walmart.com, because I got the discount. I get a good guarantee phone that it's coming from the manufacturer, not from some other seller from Amazon. And it got here in less than 5 days. I would have paid $220, including shipping and handling and taxes, but I paid only $195, which dropped it from $4 below the selling price. So that's probably the only good thing about working for Walmart when it comes to having a discount card. And yeah, I got that phone activated. It was a Huawei, which is decently cheap parts for good quality assurance and economic price, which is decent because, the last phone I had was an iPhone 4. So this is, despite it being cheaply made and having some good parts as well as bad parts together, it's a really good phone to have, and I don't see why anyone would disagree with it. I can put a link down for that on the description as well, if y'all want. And yeah, when I moved out, I started hormones. So I don't know if I can get really much detail, but I'm almost near 2 months. I really got to go to the doctor to get things checked out, whatnot, before see what we do from there. The first thing I really noticed was softening of skin. But, since I've been a heavy smoker and a heavy drinker back in the day, I lost a lot of my good complexion. So, I don't know. For me, it's really hard for me to notice the softer skin around the face versus, like, the body and the hands. Because, I work 2 jobs, so I'm always rough. Around, just about. Rough around. But in a lot of other places, I can notice a lot of the skin softening. The nipples really hurt, kind of. I mean, not like a gouging pain, but they're really sensitive to where it feels like a little bit about pain, but not too much pain. And then they grew, and they stopped hurting. And now they're starting to hurt a little bit more. But that might be just some senses tingling, and I'm not really going to go too much in detail. The moods went up and down. I'm starting to understand emotions a little bit, which is really good. And then at some parts, I'm not understanding emotions too well, and it's a strange mentality that I'm feeling. I don't hate it and I don't love it, but I do enjoy it far more. It makes me a lot happier than when I was living mostly as a male, with just being dead. And I'm just keeping myself upbeat and personal because it helps me stay positive without having to depression-like roller coaster that a lot of women get being in a job they don't want to be in. And yeah, I had the last couple days really brought me down. I just hit to the floor and I was just crying the whole day at work. Not the factory, but at Walmart. And I really don't want to go in details, but it was really bad, and it's probably going to affect me from getting my assistant management position over in Knoxville, which I'm trying so hard to get. But I gotta talk to Charlotte Boyd about that, see what she says, and hopefully she'll reconsider, because some stuff went down. It was not good. I really can't discuss it, but y'all just pray for me if y'all can, because I really need it. I really need it because I need this position a lot, so I go back to school. So please pray for me. Thank you very much. And as always, keep on scaping.